Okay, the next step is to go ahead and prepare our plug chute cartridge switch. When you're going to be using the ControlFire switch to set a plug, the blue and the red wires are no longer needed. So we can trim these two wires. Hunting recommends trimming the blue and the red wire as flush as you can get it with the case. Once you have those two wires trimmed and cut off, I recommend putting a round of tape around the switch just to keep those bare wires protected. So your plug chute switch should look something like this once it's prepped for installation. Okay, we can go ahead and set it to the side for now. And we can go ahead and prepare our EV switch tandem for installation. So at this point, we are going to feed our blue and should have two ground wires attached to it through our EV switch tandem, making sure that we don't pinch or nick any of the wires and making sure that our addressable switch is aligned with that board. So once we have that started, we can pull the wires out and we can go ahead and make our tandem connection. Okay, so at this point, you should have the wires coming from your EV through wire, and then you should have your output wire from the first switch, which is your blue wire, and you should have your two ground wires tied together. So the last step is to connect our plug chute switch, which we've already modified and prepared for installation. So we can go ahead and trim our black wires. Again, I like to trim them as short as possible because we have to tuck all of the wires into this compact package, so I want to make sure that we give ourselves enough room when we're connecting all these wires. I just like to strip my ground wires bare and then just twist them all together. Do whatever you guys prefer to do out in the field. That's just something that I like to do, and that's just a personal preference of mine. Okay, so once that's done, we can go ahead and connect all four of our ground wires. Again, we should have four when we get to the end because we have two grounds for each addressable switch. We have the ground coming from the charge tube, and we have the ground coming from the EV through wire. So once your ground wires are connected, looks something similar to that right there. The next step will be to connect our output wire from the gun switch to the input wire of our plug switch. Again, making sure you trim them as short as possible so you don't have a lot of wires to stuff back in the board of this sub. Okay, check your connections. So you should have something that looks like this. All grounds connected, blue to white, and then green will connect to the blue, white, and green strapped wire, and that'll be the final connection. Like I mentioned earlier, our green wire is our hot wire coming from our switch. That's why we have it connected directly going down to the igniter. Once you have all the wire connections made, the last step in the process is to tuck in this whole package in nice and neatly, not damaging any of the wires, and then installing the port plug. Okay, so the switch wires and everything are tucked nice and neat inside of the sub. You will take your port plug and install it, and make sure that you torque it down to the recommended specifications.